evening, guys. Continuing on after having done the breakfast aboard, I'm going to now get up on the foredeck and want to just kind of set the scene here. The priority is number one, getting that plastic on. And so what I was able to do is to completely tape down the edge of this big, there's a huge sheet of plastic. It would cover the whole front of the boat. Anyway, so it's completely tape down one edge of it to the starboard hull, down on the hull part of it, and then across the top of the cabin, and then draped over onto the port side. And so what I was doing here was getting things set up to where I could do all this and try to keep the plastic in place while the paint went on. Well, it was relatively successful. Part of it was the fact that the wind was down a little bit, but you're going to see me working on this. I think first of all I was over on starboard, and then I went over to port. But the point is, it all got done, and I'm kind of setting it up, and you'll be seeing me getting the 2-inch border, or the 2-inch margin along the edge of the tow rail, both port and starboard. That's the priority. Get that done. And so with that, I'm going to just shut up and let you watch it as things progress here. So, all right, now listen. Thanks for stopping back to Restoring a Little Girl, and we'll let it go on from here. Just to add one little touch of documentation to this trip, one of the things I came down here to do was to cut up my old tarp, bag it, and get it ready to go to the dump. Unfortunately, what was it, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, something like that, I replaced this old tarp, the Harbor Freight tarp, with a really good quality, expensive tarp. Meanwhile, the old one just sat there all bundled up with a rope around it, and it just, I know it irritated my mother, and I totally understand. It's just sitting as a lump in the front yard here, just in front of the boat. So I said, okay, we're coming down. I'm getting rid of that sucker. And so what I've been doing is cutting it into big strips and wrapping and rolling it up and getting it ready, because we got a couple of those giant lawn bags, and we're gonna get it all in bags, and so my brother can take it to the dump. So anyway, well, I'm just gonna go show you what I've done so far, which is almost all of it. Now all we've got to do is roll up the last 2 strips, but it's a lot of work. I just use my my pocket knife, which is always extremely, I just sharpened it about 2 weeks ago, and I just, it goes right down. This tarp is so cheesy, it cuts like butter anyway. So let me go show you. Well, here's all I've got left to do. I just cut these last 2 strips. There's the first bundle, which I did not package up very neatly. Those others 2 are really, keep in mind, this was a 20 by 30 foot tarp, and so there was a lot of cutting to do, but it's done, and I'm just going to get these last 2 strips rolled up, and we'll be good to go. I'll go get these in the bags, and Gary can pick it up later. Okay, we're finally ready. I am not this time going to use the thinner. I've been doing some reading from guys that have used this paint, and decided to go ahead and use it in its full thickness. For one thing, I'm only using this on basically a 2-inch strip, and not over a broad area. And I'm hoping that by using it straight instead of with the thinner, we're going to be able to get this to dry faster than 21 hours. After doing what I did with my last use of this on that last trip, like I said, I was doing some more research, some more study of guys that have used it. One guy just basically said he'll never use it again, because it took him a full 24 hours and didn't basically ever dry. So I don't know. I don't want to give this stuff a bad name. I just want to do what's practical for me, and for right now, this is it. This is going on very nicely. I love it because this 2-inch brush is just perfect. You know, it just completely matches up with what I'm painting. I'm not getting outside the lines, letting the tape do its thing to be able to keep everything in check. Because on the other side of this tape, inboard of toward the center of the deck, it's already sanded. There goes the stinking wind again. It's already sanded to be able to start getting things ready for the non-skid. And as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to pull the plastic over the top of it and get it tight so that nothing gets in this paint. Nothing. Hopefully. Okay, I gotta move, guys. We'll see you in a minute. Well, I hate it, but we got the sound of a custom leaf blower across on the back side of the neighborhood, and it's just incessant. About to drive me crazy. Anyway, whatever. We're back on. We're over to starboard now. Port's done. And I'm waiting for it to dry. It is drying faster using the straight up paint instead of using the brushing fluid. The brushing fluid, by the way, is basically it thins it, or it thins it to the point where when you're especially when you're rolling, it really helps the paint to flow, and you're almost certain to get a really nice, even, smooth finish with it. And okay, I'm going to talk back toward the camera now. Like I said, the thinning fluid that you buy, and it goes with the wet edge paint. It's intended to make the paint flow to where you get a nice, smooth, even, almost glossy coat. Well, it is glossy, but my point is it just really levels out very nicely with using the thinning fluid. But I'm convinced that is one of the reasons it took forever and forever to dry. Like I said, I on this boat it was 21 hours. I know it was because I basically clocked it. But whoever's doing that leaf blowing, I would think that they would lose their sanity after a while. Let me tell you, one of the blessings of living in Vermont, you don't get this. We live up on a hillside. We do hear traffic up through the trees because we live, like I said, we kind of live above Route 4. But I'll tell you, you never hear any of this, ever. Oh, whatever. Keep your sanity, Randy. Keep it cool, keep it cool. We're getting there. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to move this back, so hang tight. Okay, guys, I got it done. I got all the way from just behind the breast hook all the way back to the front of the cabin here. And so far, not a lick of garbage got into this. So we're going to get this stuff down off of here, pull the plastic back across and get it taut very quickly to try to keep any stuff from getting into it. So yeah, good. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I'll show you when we get done. Ooh, our batteries are going down on my camera. Okay, basically what we got going here, guys, is almost a little wind tunnel, both sides. Where the wind is scooping in up here in a loose area around the plastic and going right back along the side and out next to the cabin. Same thing over here. All this is working pretty well. This is kind of how I planned it. It's not perfect. On this first side over here that we're looking at, the port, the wind was blowing a little bit, and this set down in the paint. You can see right there, that set down in the paint and pull some of the paint up off from it. Probably gonna have to repaint this port side a little bit, but not bad, not bad. All right, we're gonna let everything just leave it right now and just walk away and let it dry. The beauty is there's stuff collecting on top of this, you know, pine needles and everything. It ain't getting in the paint, and that's the whole name of the game right there. The starboard side is just virtually perfect. There is no place where that is the paint is messed up or plastic got in it or anything, and I got it good and tight as soon as I got the paint down. And yeah, it's that starboard side is going to look fantastic. So, all right, guys, we'll let that go for now. And with this paint, you got to learn when to walk away, let it dry. So that's what we're going to do. Well, guys, so far it's working. I think I know it's working because all the debris is not getting on the paint. It's a lot of hassle because you have to keep chasing after the plastic and make sure it's taped down to the deck. I'm sorry, taped down to the hull well enough. But it's working, and obviously you know what that's there for. I put this big old stick up here with my toolbox on top of it to hold everything taut. You know, everything down onto the deck so that you can pull it out from each side and keep it over the top of the painted area. But anyway, that seems to be working really well. And you know, my next thing after this dries, and it's going to be tomorrow because I've got one more day working on this, I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here, cut this rounded, because this is going to all this is going to be painted white here along, you know, in front of the cabin. That's the border, okay, and around the non-skid, okay. And in the meantime, when this stuff comes off from here, everything inside of that is where all the non-skid is going to be going, okay, and with, you know, obviously divided up the center for where the deck cleat is going to go and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of worth the hassle of you know, getting the plastic on here and chasing after and making sure they stay stuck down so that at least we're keeping all the debris off from the paint. So hey, good to go for now. All right, we're down here to go out on my brother's boat, Mahalo, and do a little cleanup.
All you gotta do is just, you know, go like you put, you know, a roof and maker into an area. And I couldn't retrieve it just came 5 times, but it popped up, pictured the whole 9 yards. Talked a lot about it boating. Living
Hi guys, day's wrapping up right here. In the first place, I got everything done that I wanted to get done today. I got both port and starboard, those uh, areas, the margins along both the port and starboard tow rails. That's all done. It's all wrapped up for the night, and it is drying much faster than when I used the thinner, whatever it was, whatever that's for. There's a name for it. I don't remember. Okay, so that's a good thing. Secondly, this afternoon, my brother came and picked me up, and we went down on his motor cruiser, and I helped him move it over to the town dock and wash the decks and so on and so forth. Because tomorrow morning, my son and his family that are down here with me are going to be going out on a boat with him, and I'm not. I'm going to stay here. I want to get some more work done up on the deck. But in the meantime, it was just really nice to be able to be out on the water and beautiful sun. And hey, that's why we love doing what we do, right, guys? Except that I was on a motor cruiser instead of a sailboat. But anyway, yeah, it was good. And so tomorrow morning he's going to be taking them. I can't wait tomorrow to do the wrap up and check for the paint, make sure that it's good and hard, and it should be by tomorrow morning. It should be all dry, and then go ahead and take the tape off, and it's going to be nice to actually be looking at the next step in the process of doing the non-skid, which will not get done on this trip. It's going to have to wait till next time, because this paint is of such a nature that even when you're dry, you're still have some tackiness to it. And I'm not going to go messing with it. I mean, as it is, we got to sand all that area where the non-skid is going to be going down. And I don't want to take any chances of getting stuff in that paint that is going to go binding into it. So you get the idea. Anyway, so I'm going to stay here tomorrow and get that wrapped up and get the boat cleaned up. By the way, I'm not spending the night on the boat again. It was a little awkward, not awkward. Let's put it this way. It was like a steam bath in here. And for the first part of the night, it was not comfortable. And for the second part of the night, it got cool enough in the cabin to where I could actually pull the sleeping bag over me a little bit and get some sleep. So, yeah, we're not doing that again. So I've got all my stuff in there, and the house is air conditioned. And I plan to get a really good night's sleep tonight without having to worry about sweating and a sleeping bag under me. Anyway, all right, guys, that's it. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I probably won't be doing the morning coffee thing out here. We just did that this morning. But yeah, we're looking forward to just having a good day at work. And we'll have you coming right along with us. Take care. Bye. Well, guys, we ran out of light up here in the hills of Vermont, and so I'm going to do a wrap-up for this video out here with the back porch light on. So what's going on is this is a short one. I think it's only 16 minutes, 17 minutes, something like that. And that shows pretty much everything I got done on the first day after the breakfast thing, okay? That's one reason this is a bit shorter. And what happened was we left the plastic on overnight, and we're going to pick it up the next morning with the next video and show the rest of the work that got done going into the second day. Suffice it to say, the leaving it under the plastic did save all the paint from getting any debris in it. That was a successful venture. Like I said, and it did dry, kinda. I'll let the next video pick it up and talk about that. But in the meantime, at least we got this much in. I showed just 3 short clips there at the end of this particular video of my brother doing some hosing down, cleaning on his boat. That's a big boat. That's a 28-foot. Big is, I guess, a comparative term. But it's a big boat compared to my little 23, and that's a lot of weight. And so when we brought it into town dock, I had the pleasure, and I don't mind doing it. I've got the experience and the skill, and as we both do. My brother and I are both pretty skilled with our boats. But I had the pleasure of jumping off and fending off and making sure that with my line I was hauling it down. We actually ended up coming along the outside of the town dock and having to turn the corner and bring it back onto the starboard side because that's where the water is to be able to hose things down. So anyway, it was an adventure. And he got his boat all cleaned up, and I helped him move it back out there and everything like that. So anyway, it was a fun time, and it was a break away from being up on that deck and getting out on the water, being able to be out there, and kind of fun riding a water taxi. I'm Mr. Cheap. All I've ever done is row my brother's dinghy out to my boat. But now because he's got a big old motor cruiser, he's paying for the water taxi each year. I think it's $600 or something like that for the summer. And it's kind of nice to be able to just walk out to the end of the dock, step onto the boat, and then sit down and enjoy this very pleasant ride out to the boat. Anyway, all right, guys, that's it for this particular episode of Restoring Little Girl. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll get the other one out as soon as we can. Take care. Bye.